Hello, my miraculous friend. This is Reverend Francis Faden, and I'll welcome you to the live stream I'm doing today. We're going to be doing intuitive business readings for you. So, if you are a business owner, if you are a creative entrepreneur, if you're a light worker or somebody that has their own private practice, if you want to understand how your energy is affecting your business, if you have any questions about your business, this is the event for you. I'm so excited to be here with you. I always like to start by just taking a few deep breaths together. So if you're joining me, just take a few deep breaths with me. We've all been doing all kinds of things today. We want to bring ourselves into this moment. Let's all let go of whatever we did before, whatever we might be doing later, and just coming deeply into the now. And every time we do this, we bring our awareness to this moment. We start to get in touch with the divine presence. And this moment is where all the possibilities are. The divine dwells in the present moment. This is what connects us to the field of infinite possibilities. Here we are. And as we already start to feel that divine presence supporting us, making itself known to us, I want you to take a moment and think about what you really want to get out of this time. How do you really want to feel? Just imagine that you've had your question answered, you have the direction that you need, you have whatever it is that you're here for. And so just take another deep breath with me, feeling that energy of like, feeling grateful, feeling inspired, feeling clarity, whatever it might be. Feel it as deeply as you can. And as we feel that energy, we know by law the universe must bring that energy back to us. So that's exactly what you're going to be experiencing. Let's take one more deep breath together in gratitude, and we can begin. All right, my friends, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Reverend Francis Faden. I am a channel, I am a success coach for business owners, for creative entrepreneurs, for light workers, for people that want to become light leaders. I love, love, love helping you see how your energy is showing up in your business and how when you shift your energy, you can shift your business and how your business is an amazing spiritual tool for you to understand yourself and to really grow. I love helping women entrepreneurs step into their purpose, connect with their purpose, what I call your sacred life purpose, all the things. I love, love, love it. And I happen to channel the divine feminine in the form of Mother Mary. I call this really the field of unconditional love. I call her Mother Mary. You might say Mary Magdalene. You might say Kuan Yin. You might say all these different things. But the field, people call it the quantum field. I call it the field of unconditional love. It's where all the miracles already reside. All the miracles, everything that could ever be is in that field right now. And all we need to do is open ourselves up and be receptive. And one of the ways that we do that is through understanding our energy and connecting. And I help people do it through messages, through coaching, through doing the readings that I do. People do it for me in the same way. I have my own coaches and I go to my own trusted spiritual advisors just because we all have blind spots. There's things that we can't see, they're so obvious to other people, but we have a hard time seeing them ourselves. And so that's why I believe it's so important, especially if you're on the spiritual path, to have somebody that you trust, somebody who is really invested in helping you be the best version of yourself. And that's what I hold myself to, that I love, is that my goal is to help you be the best version of yourself that you can be. Because here's the truth, my friend. We need you to step into your sacred life purpose. Your sacred life purpose is the medicine that the world needs right now, no matter what it is, whether you're going to write a book or you're going to be a painter or you're going to be a musician or you're going to be a healer or you're going to be a business executive, whatever it might be. You came to this planet with a particular genius that none of us have. It's specific to you and the way that you do it, only you can do it. There might be other people who do similar things, but only you can do it the way that you do it. And it's so important that you do like Mother Mary and you say yes. When Archangel Gabriel comes and knocks on your door, you want to say yes to your sacred life purpose. You might not know what that is. If you don't know what that is, you can contact me and we can talk about setting up a sacred life purpose reading for you. And you can, it's one of my favorite things to do. You learn about all 7 of your chakras and how you're wired to do your genius. I love it. It's one of my favorite things. So we're going to be doing intuitive business readings today. And what I'm asking you to do is if you're here live with me, I'm going to be taking questions from you. I'm going to be offering messages and readings for you. If you're watching the replay, what I say is keep your ears open because your question might be answered in the messages that I'm giving to people. Either way, thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. So if you are here live, I'm going to ask you in the comments to put your name and what your business is so that I know what you're talking about. And also what your question is about your business. If you have a specific question, it can be a marketing question, it can be an energy question. You might want to know about kind of the big vision, like whatever it is. There's no such thing as a wrong question. What I will say is I don't do predictions. And the reason I don't do predictions, like I'm not going to go like, oh, I see you in the future and you're doing blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to tell you that. Here's why, because I want to help you create your future. I think that you can make a choice right now, today, in this moment, right now, that can completely change the trajectory of your life. So I'm not ever going to tell you predictions. What I'm going to tell you is what your own energy is telling me, what the energy of your business is telling me to empower you to then make decisions that will lead you to what you want. Because it kind of if you think that everything is already set in stone, then life is happening to you. But I don't think that's what life's about. I really think that we're here to learn how to be God. We're here to own that energy that we create our reality, and we're trying to figure out how to do it. It's like we're in these little bumper cars bumping into each other. And the more that you practice creating your reality, the better you get, the more confident you get, the more you're going to be creating your universe. So let me see if anybody has put some comments in the comments. All right. Female Frequency Productions. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. So your question, I'm going to write this down. Jody, asking about marketing her paintings. Okay. So I'm going to say to you, what's your question about marketing your paintings? Do you just want to know something general or do you have a specific question? So if you want to ask me a more specific question, you can do that if you like. Asking about marketing your podcast and your paintings more. Okay. So more than what? I would love to know. But I will answer your question. And then what I'll do is I'm going to give you a message about that. And then we are going to take a look and see what's going on here. So if you're here and you're joining me, don't be shy. I want you to ask a question. I want you to get your message if you have one. All right, so I'm going to do what I do. And I'm going to tune into your energy, say my little prayer. Mother, Father, God, Great Spirit of the universe, we give thanks for this time together, for our message and our reading session today. We're asking that all of us have our inner eyes, ears, and hearts open as wide as possible, that we're able to truly see, hear, feel, and know the truth as it's being revealed to us. We know that we're always surrounded and protected in a circle of brilliant white light. And into this circle, we're welcoming all of the highest beings that want to come and support us. We welcome at this time. All right, so I am going to go ahead and just tune into the energy, Jody, of your question, to tune into your energy and the energy of your business. So, all right, so I know Jody, and I know that she's got a podcast that's called The Female Frequency. If you do not know that podcast, you should check out that podcast because it's awesome. And she herself is also a painter, and she really supports creative women. She helps artists make money. but she herself is also an artist. So she's asking a question about the marketing aspect of things. So the first thing we want to remember is that marketing is about connecting. Marketing is about making connections, right? So when we're doing marketing, all we're really doing is connecting with people. And then we're either solving a problem for them that they may or may not have known that they had, or we're offering them a way to realize a dream or a goal or something like that. So, and when we look at marketing that way, and it takes it out of that kind of clinical way of looking at it, it's like, oh, marketing is about connecting, it's about helping people, it's about offering solutions to people. So, it's creating a connection and offering a solution. So, one of the things I would say is with both your painting and your podcast, what is the solution that they provide? How is your podcast a solution? And one of the easiest things to ask myself is who is it a solution for? Who is it a solution for? You start with the who, and then we get very easily into what it is that they need. Now, I'm going to ask your podcast for you what it is that she is wanting. Okay. So you're as I'm feeling the energy of your podcast, she feels really constricted. She feels like she has to kind of fit in this certain way. And there's this energy of like your podcast wants to break out of its shell. It doesn't want to be um, feeling confined. Now, I can't dialogue with you about this. So, what I'm going to say, my interpretation of that is maybe you think that your podcast, and I'll just make it up, maybe you think it has to be a certain amount of time long. Maybe it needs to be an hour or half an hour. Like maybe you're sticking to some things that you feel like it has to be, or it has to, oh, whatever it might be. And your podcast wants to like break open. It wants to be something that feels expansive for you. So the first thing I would say is how can we help you feel more expansive in your podcast, that it's not feeling something that feels maybe like a box that you're in, but it feels more like a playground for you. It feels more like a place where you get to show up and you get to play. So that's the first thing I'm going to say. And then I'm going to say, as your podcast is like, it can relax. The message that I'm getting for you, Jody, is every area of your business wants to break free. Every area of your business wants to be wide open. It's not wanting to be managed or kind of like controlled. There's this feeling of like expansiveness that wants to flow through your business. Um, because as soon as we like open, I feel like, oh wow, there's all these possibilities. What I'm hearing for you, now this is Mother Mary telling me, what I'm hearing that your business, your podcast, your paintings, what it all needs is you stepping into the version of yourself that has that number one podcast, or you stepping into the version of yourself that is a, what would it be called? A best-selling painter. I don't know what you would call that. Um, Stepping into that version of yourself. The word that I'm hearing for you is leadership. Um, So let me see if I can answer any more of that for you. Okay. So you and I can talk about it a little bit more in the future if you like. But the thing that I'm hearing for you is, okay, there's this type of therapy that I found out a long time ago called voice dialogue, I think it's called. And they would do this thing where they would have different chairs and you would sit in a different chair depending upon what aspect of your personality. So if there was something that you want, let's say there's something you want to do and something you don't want to do. So you sit in the middle. The party that wants to do this thing sits over in this chair and talks about why she wants to do it. And then you get up and you sit in this other chair and talk about like why I don't want to do it. Um, in a similar way, you're being asked to stand up and sit in the chair of someone that's a leader. And what would it be like to show up on your podcast, which I think you already do, to show up on your podcast as a leader? What would it be like to reach out to people that you're inviting to be a guest or as a leader? What would it be like to assume that energy, that I am in demand, that I am a leader, that I am connected, like whatever it might be, because that's what I'm hearing. It's like stepping into leadership. Um, and then coming from that place of like, as a leader, how do I want to market what I'm doing? So the marketing thing goes back to the problem, like what's the problem that I'm solving or what's the solution that I offer? And then really talking about that over and over and over again, talking about how this podcast is the solution for these times or it's the medicine for whatever it might be. That's what I'm hearing about that. Your painting feels like a whole other happy thing. Um, so how you feel when you paint is how the universe is wanting you to feel in every other area of your business. I don't know if that answers your question, but that's the answer I got for you. And I hope that's helpful. And you can let me know if you have more questions. But thank you. And thank you for being here. Okay. Um, okay. I'll come back to the finding a larger audience in a second. All right, Sherry. Hi, Sherry. Her business is coaching, and I need to bring in more income. I'm also a writer, and I want to start a podcast. Any insights about income generation with or without those paths? All right, Sherry. I love this question. Yay. So, wanting to bring in more income, you're a coach, you're a writer, you want to start a podcast. So, my question to you is, are you a creative writer like fiction? Are you a nonfiction like a how-to kind of a writer? Are you a poet? Like what kind of writer are you? And why do you want to start that podcast? So this is me just being in coach mode. I'm not giving you the reading yet. But why do you want to start the podcast? What's going on with that? So my sense, just feeling your energy, is I can feel how creative you are. So let me tune into your energy real quick, and I'll tune into the energy of your business. Now, what's going on with you? So, oh, Sherry, I love your energy. Your energy is awesome. Okay. So, one of the things I'm going to say, especially for people that are watching the replay, really pay attention, um, because you'll notice that there's kind of a theme to some of the things we're talking about. So, what I'm feeling for you, Sherry, is you are super creative, super creative. Um, and your business isn't. So I don't feel you getting to be really creative in your business. I'm not feeling a lot of enthusiasm. Now, you might be really good at your coaching. You're probably actually great at it. But where are you feeling creatively fulfilled? Mm, That's my thing for you. I'm like, I'm not going to tell you not to do coaching. I think coaching is awesome. I love coaching. Um, but if you're needing to bring in some other income, where I would start with you is we want to get your energy aligned so that you feel excited about working with people so that you're naturally drawing those people to you. And I really, if having a podcast is a way for you to show up and have fun and be creative, I would do that. But I wouldn't do the podcast until I was clear about what I really want to do that's fun, because my sense about it is your energy is kind of going in a lot of different directions because you're not really doing what I would call your sacred life purpose. And your sacred life purpose isn't about a job. It's not about a career path. Your sacred life purpose is what you came here to embody, experience, and express in the world. And you do it from day one, from the very first day that you're born. If we're not that much in alignment with it, our life starts to get a little funky. So I'll give you my example. My One of the things I do in a sacred life purpose reading with people is we look to see what you came here to, what your soul came here to embody, experience, and express, and then we look in the next chakra and we look at what your archetypes are. And your archetypes are the ways that you express this beautiful purpose that you have. So for me, my primary archetype is what I call the threefold soul. It's like the healer, the minister, healer, um, minister, healer, artist is like all in one. And that's all the same person. Back in the days, in the tribal days, the medicine person, this holy person, they all used to be the same person. We've only divided that up in our culture. But my secondary archetype is the teacher. Now, about 15 years ago, I had a workshop business where I was really being a teacher. I was really in that energy. And it kind of was okay. I mean, I was good at it, But at the end of all my workshops, people would come up and say, "Can you tell me about my secret life? Can you do a reading for me?" Because my primary archetype was the one that the teaching needed to really support. So for you, being a business coach might not be your primary archetype coaching people. It might be something that you're really good at, but are you in love with it? Is it something that lights you up? Are you really excited about it? And if you are, then taking that enthusiasm and sharing that, whether it's with your email list or on social media or whatever, is like, what do you love about coaching people? And what can you do to kind of like share that enthusiasm with people? I always start with my energy. Whenever my energy is funky, my income and my clients tend to kind of wane. As soon as I get myself back in the energy of feeling really grateful for my business, really being open, being receptive, then everything starts to go. So with you, I would really want to work with your energy. Let me see if you have any other questions about that. Okay, so you're writing nonfiction and self development, which I love. And so I still am feeling for you as I'm feeling your energy. I'm like, she's more creative. I have a feeling she's more creative. I'm going to ask specifically about the money. Since that's your question, I'm going to ask specifically about the income. Sherry, I keep hearing that it's not about the income. I know how frustrating that can be to ask that question and be like, but it's about the income. Um, I keep hearing that it's not about the income. I keep hearing um, that it's really important for you to be excited about what you're doing and to be creatively fulfilled. So, how can we bring your creativity into your coaching practice? That would be my question to you. What can you do to bring your creativity into your coaching practice? Are you charging enough? This is the other question I'm being asked to ask you is, are you charging enough? It might seem like a counterintuitive question when you're like, I need more money, but I'm hearing like, are you charging what you need to be charging? Are you really valuing yourself and what you're offering? I don't know because I don't get a chance to talk to you. If you wanted to talk to me, you can always go to my website and you can set up a miracle meeting with me, and I can show you how to do that. I'll put that over here. Um, if you want to go to my website, if you wanted to talk to me about it, I'd be happy to talk to you about it. Um, but yeah, that's what I'm getting for you is I think you might need to charge more. This feels like third chakra issues. I don't know if you're familiar with your chakras. Third chakra is all about your relationship with yourself, honoring yourself, valuing yourself, having your boundaries, owning your power, being willing to shine, all of that. And my sense about it is it feels like third chakra type of things. So I wouldn't necessarily do a lot of other things and dissipate your energy. I want you to go full in on what you really want to do. That's what I think. You can let me know if that's helpful. You can write another question. But thank you. Okay, let me see if anybody else has a question. Writing with the universe. I know who this is. All right. So I'm not sure if my messages are going through, but I'm wondering how I can bring in more passive income. I have some books and downloads currently available, but not much is happening with them. Okay. So, writing with the universe, that is Grace. So, how can I bring in more passive income? Let's take a look and see what's going on here with you. Okay. So, very practical question I'm hearing for you is what is your marketing plan for your passive income streams? Are you currently marketing your books and your downloads and all of that? So I don't know if you're actually doing something. You can let me know if you're, because there's two different questions. If you are doing a lot and things aren't happening, that's a different question than what do I do to get things happening? Those are kind of two separate things. Um, Let me ask about this. So the work that you're doing now, are your books and your downloads directly related to those things? Are they leading you? So for example, if you are doing writing coaching and you have a download about how to become a writer and that kind of thing, that's directly related. So if you are, do you, do you have a download, a passive income stream that's connected to the majority of the work that you're doing now or no? And how are you marketing those things? So those are the questions I have for you. You can let me know, and you put something in the comments if you want. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to see if I can get. I've gone. Okay, so I've done some marketing, but it hasn't gone super well. Okay, so the word that I'm hearing for you is commitment, like being committed to it. So as I had said earlier, if do you believe that the thing that you're offering is medicine for somebody? Do you think that your download is something that people need to have that? Who needs it? And so here's an example. And you may or may not feel this way. If right now you had the cure for some incurable disease, would you be doing some marketing and hoping that the people that find it, maybe they would find it? Or would you be shouting on the rooftops, I found it. Here it is. Come get it. And that's the energy that we really want to have when we're entrepreneurs, not in an ego way of like, look at me, but from a place of like, oh my God, I have an answer. Like there's something that actually really works. If you're struggling with this, I have this. Um, and to be really committed to it. So, what I hear for you is to set up a really simple way of marketing, maybe automate it, but every day. Every day you post something wherever you do your marketing, where you let people know, hey, I have whatever the medicine is that you offer, whatever the solution is that you offer, I have this available. The thing about your business, you guys, that you want to remember is it's going to always reflect your energy. And a lot of times we think, like I did, I wrote my book a long time ago. And I was like, yay, I wrote the book. I did my part. But that's just the beginning part. It's kind of like having a baby. Like you go through the birth process and you're like, I'm done. It's like, no, you just began. Like as much as it was to write that book or to do your project, that's just the beginning. Now you need to nurture what you've just brought into the world and make it available for people. And so it's a little bit of a mindset shift to recognize that when we have these beautiful tools, we want to have a way to consistently make them available to people if we really believe in them. If we don't, or we kind of just did it because it was a clever idea, or we wanted to have passive income, nothing wrong with that. I love it. But it's still, it's a kind of about us. Like, I really want passive income, which is great. But what we really want to do is help people. What we really want to do is offer solutions to people. What we really want to do is be of service and be paid at the same time. So then we have to start thinking about these people and where are they? Where are they hanging out? And how can I connect with them and let them know that there is an alternative or there's an option, and to have a lot of enthusiasm. If we don't have enthusiasm about it, ain't nobody going to have enthusiasm about it. We need to really have enthusiasm about what we're doing in order for other people to kind of come in and do that. So I don't know if that's helpful for you. You can let me know. Okay, so let me take a look and see what else you're saying. The downloads are directly related, but the books are fiction and only tangentially related. Okay. So what I'm hearing with you then is you actually have two businesses. Okay. So you have two businesses. One of your businesses is downloads that are related to what you're doing. The second business is I'm a fiction author. And what do I do about that? So that's a little bit of a kind of picking your lane. One of the things I would recommend that you do is take a look at, I'm listening for you. Um, what are the negative beliefs I have about being a fiction author? Do I have any? Um, and I'm still hearing for you the same thing is like your fiction book is still medicine for somebody. That story matters and it deserves to be getting the same type of energy as any other thing that you would put out there. So, what Mother Mary's telling me for you is can you pour your love into your books and what would it look like? And maybe you don't do it every day. Maybe it's not something that you do every day, but you're actually doing kind of two businesses. So first give yourself compassion that, oh, I'm trying to do, two businesses. I still feel like that fiction, there's a lot of energy around there. But as I had said to Jody, like, who do you have to step into being to be like, I'm a best-selling author. I'm a best-selling fiction author, and I'm still showing up in my other business same way, but how do I step into being that person? And if I was that person, what would I be doing differently? Mother Mary's telling me it's not for lack of talent, and it's not for lack of value. You know, I like to think about creative entrepreneurs throughout time. And you know how many record companies said no to the Beatles? It's like a long list. The Beatles finally ended up on a record label that was for like recorded books. It was like spoken word, their first record label. So I think about that sometimes, and I think about, not everybody can recognize. Was that a comment about the Beatles? No, it was a comment about people not being able to see. It wasn't because they weren't amazing. It was because people couldn't catch up with them. So for us, we have to be good stewards of our gift and say, my story is amazing, whether they can see it yet or not. And how do I really want to be a good steward to my book, my story, and get it in as many hands as possible? Who needs to read this book? That's the question I would ask myself. Who needs to read this book? Whose hands can I get this book into that it's going to save their life or it's going to inspire them to go for their dream or whatever it might be? That's the question that I would ask. I hope that's helpful for you. You can let me know if it is. All right, beautiful Sherry. Yay, thank you for commenting. Sherry says, thank you. It's so powerful for you to hear, even more so because you don't know me. I don't know you. I would love to know you. My sense is that you're spot on about my creativity and seeking the excitement and fun first. And I love your little horse emoji. Yeah, Sherry. So that's the whole thing is, you got to go with how you're wired. We all do. We have to go with how we're wired. Every time I try to make myself be a little more straight and narrow, a little more practical, a little more like it just doesn't work. I need to be able to be the creative channeling, person that I am. And I bring all that energy into the business coaching that I do. And it's what makes me different than other people is I love blending all of those things. I am not someone that's a way out in left field kind of psychic. I don't talk about things that people can't apply right away. Um, but I'm also not just a straight up, bullet point type of business coach. I want to do what works for people. And what I've learned is we have to work with our energy. We have to work with the way that we're wired, especially if you're highly sensitive, especially if you're highly creative, especially if you're a woman. You have to work with the way that you're wired, or you're always going to be going uphill against yourself. So bring that creativity in, my friend. I'm so curious about what you do and about what your business is. And if you'd like to share more with me, feel free to reach out. I'd love to know more about that. Okay, let me see if anybody else has any other questions. Uh, so Grace says that's helpful. Yes, I totally want you to journal about that with the fiction because here's the thing I'm going to say, unless anybody has any other questions. I'm going to say, lost my microphone. Nowadays, if you're on a spiritual path, and you're a spiritual entrepreneur, you're a creative entrepreneur, you're a business owner, your business is like your spiritual path. And what I mean by that is it can't ever go where you can't take you where you're not able to go. So you're never going to grow beyond the level that you feel safe growing. You're never going to be able to grow your business beyond your self concept. This is why so many people focus on that when they're coaching. Some people only focus on the technical things of like get an email list and do this and do that. I say all of it's important, but being that person. So really focusing on being that person. And people will often ask me like, well, how do I do that? And that's where I say you have to understand your energy. Now, obviously, if you want to work with me, you want to do a sacred life purpose session, you want to do coaching with me for your business, absolutely. I'm definitely one option. But there's lots of ways that you can start to understand yourself. If you're into astrology, you can look into your astrology chart, get a really good astrologer that can tell you how you're wired and like how you work. If you're into human design, go to a really good human design person and they can tell you a little bit about your energy and how to work with your energy. If you're into numerology, go to a like it doesn't really matter. You can go to someone that can read your palm. You're going to hear all the same information over and over again. And what I say is pick the one that you really trust and the one that can give you feedback about you in real time and that can guide you through that. That's what I do with my clients, but it's also the kind of energy that I seek out. I don't want just information. I want people that can help me to step into this version of myself. And right now, there is a version of you in the quantum field that is a successful painter, Jody, that is a best-selling author, Grace, that is a six-figure, seven-figure coach doing creative stuff, Sherry. Like right now in the quantum field, that version of you exists. So why not start to tap into that version by understanding how you're wired and then working with that, working with the way that you are, not trying to copy people, but really working with yourself. So a big challenge that I see with people is they're not giving themselves permission to be who they are. They're not giving themselves permission to be as creative or as logical as they are. They're not giving themselves permission to be as structured or as free flow as they need to be. People are always trying to be the opposite thing because they have a story that says, I'm not good enough or I'm not enough. And as long as we're believing the I'm not enough story, we really struggle. So one of the things I recommend that you do is take a look as if you're like objective, like as if it's not your business. I want you to just look at your business results and be like, that's interesting, kind of from a place of curiosity and be like, that's interesting. And just like when you look at your numbers, you're like, this is my income is coming from this area. My income's not coming from this area. I'm spending a lot of time doing this, but this is where my results are coming. And you can look at that and you can see it as a mirror of like, where's my energy? What's going on with my energy? And then you can kind of be a coach to yourself when you look at that and go, oh, okay. If my business is mirroring things to me, and you want to be kind to yourself about it, if my business is mirroring things to me, what's it trying to tell me? What's it trying to tell me? All right. So I'm going to give you guys a chance to ask another question if you want to, because I love doing this. So I'm going to take a sip of water. If anybody else has a question, write it down. And in the comments, I'm happy to help anybody else. You can ask a second question. You can ask a new question, whatever it might be. One of the things that Mother Mary is wanting me to share with you is to recognize how important what you do is on the planet right now. As much as we need to make money and all the things, which we definitely do, it's so important for you to say yes to what is in your heart because it wouldn't be in your heart if the world didn't need it and if it wasn't going to bless your life abundantly. A lot of times we have a dream, we have something on our heart, and we tell ourselves, oh, that's silly, or I can't make money doing that, or whatever it might be. And the truth of the matter is, you wouldn't have that desire if it wasn't meant for you. And I believe this 100% with all of my heart. You wouldn't have that desire if it wasn't meant for you. So it's really important that you say yes to it and take an action on it, whatever way you can. Okay, so we do have another question. Yay! How can I bring intuitive readings into my coaching business? Well, you can do what I do, which is just do it. So if you're a coach and you want to bring your intuition in, there's a couple ways you can do it. You can either just full on do it like I do, or you can do it a little bit more subtly. So I'm imagining that when you're asking this question, what you're really asking is, how do I do it in a more overt way as opposed to doing it more kind of on the inside? And And I'm going to ask this question for you and see specifically for you. So I'm not just going to give you my left brain. I'm going to ask for you. Okay. And I'll be honest with you, Grace, when I'm feeling your energy asking this question, I feel so much joy around being able to do this. So much joy. So what I would say is what I'm hearing is, what does the intuition solve for people? So if you were to bring intuition into your business, just like if you're going to bring in passive income or a product or something, if you bring the intuitive piece and you started doing intuitive readings in your coaching business, how does that help your client? How does it help them? That's what you want to be really clear about. So for me personally, what I do is I say to people, when that, because I've been trying to explain to people what I do for the whole 25 years I've been doing it. And what I say to people is that your energy is really important. And as much as we need the practical coaching steps, we also want to find out what is in alignment with your energy. And I use my intuition to give you that inside edge. So I liken it. This is how I explain it to my clients. And it kind of sounds like a weird analogy, but then you'll get it. I say, so I think about it because people always say to me, well, can I just do this myself? I'm like, you can. It's a lot like going to the dentist. We all brush our teeth ourselves every day, right? We all do that. We all floss. We do the things that we can do, but we still go to the dentist. Why? Because the dentist is able to see things that we can't see. And that's what you do when you go to like a coach or somebody like that. The dentist gets in there and can see things, right? So you talk to all that. But then when, and that coach person is like the dentist being able to, with their intuition, access things that you can't access. But then I also channel Mother Mary, I channel whoever your spirit guides are, whatever it might be. And that's like when the dentist takes the x-ray. So there's things that even the dentist can't see. And then the x-ray's there. And then we're like, haha, now we see what's going on under the gum line. And that's what the channeling piece is like. When I'm able to use my intuition and do that, I'm able to see things that you can't see and I can't see, but their spirit can see. And that's how people understand the power of intuition. And then they go, oh, I want that. So, what I would say to you is to be really clear in your mind, how is adding intuitive readings going to benefit your coaching clients? Is it your writing coaching clients? Is it your marketing coaching clients? Like, which clients are you talking about? And I get really clear about how it's going to help them and just own it and just be like, this is the best thing ever. And then the people that you're working with are going to love it. So, yay. All right. So Sherry's got another question. Um, so yeah, so your human design points to intuition as your superpower. See? See, Sherry? I knew there's something about you. See? Absolutely. And how does it help your client? Absolutely. That's what you want to see because that's what they want to know. They want to know how it's going to help them. Okay, yay, female frequency. Let's see. You mentioned there's energy that wants to open up and be less bound. What is something energetically, spiritually that I should expand on? Okay, great question. I think you and I have talked about it some, but I'm going to ask your energy that wants to be. And it's so funny that you use the word less bound because I think that's what you say in your podcast, unbounded forms. Um, okay, let's look. So when I ask this question and I tune into your energy and the energy of your business, I see a lot of color. I'm seeing a lot of play. um, what I'm hearing for you, Jody, is you need just enough structure. It's kind of like a fish in a fish tank. Like you need just enough structure so that you don't have to start from scratch every week on your podcast. Like you have to have like your intro and all that stuff down. But what I'm feeling is that like letting yourself play is what I'm feeling, letting yourself play. So I'm wondering about telling more stories. I'm wondering about sharing more of you and your experience. I'm wondering about what Mother Mary's telling me for you is worrying less about how people are perceiving you. Am I being perceived as a leader? And just be the leader. Don't even worry about how people are seeing you. Just be the leader. Um, and yeah, some of it feels like it's mental. Some of it feels like it's more of how you're thinking about things. So I would say what you want to expand on is if, and I'm not saying like you're asking these questions, but these are some of the questions I'm hearing in my head. It's like, if I weren't trying to make money, if I weren't trying to be seen as a leader in my field, if I weren't trying to do it right or whatever, and I only did this because it was so fun, would you do anything different? So you might not actually do anything different, but the way that you show up would be more like just like expanded, kind of like more expanded. Um, so that's what I'm getting. I don't know if I can tell you more than that without chatting with you about it, but that's what I get. So hopefully that's helpful for you. Okay. All right. So last call. Anybody else have a question before we wind up today? This was so fun. So fun. Any other questions? And what I will say, my friends, is I love, love, love doing this kind of work. If you enjoyed it, let me know because I would love to come back and do some more. I love talking about business. I love helping entrepreneurs, makes me so happy. If you are an entrepreneur that is looking for more help, if you're a business owner who wants to be able to grow your business in alignment with your purpose, in alignment with your soul, reach out to me, francisfaden.com/miracle meeting. That's where you and I can set up some time to talk and to chat about whether that's a fit for you, whether you want that kind of support. Coaching, is that a good fit for you? Are you wanting to work with somebody that can talk to your energy? Are you wanting to work with somebody that can help you to understand how you're wired and to help you make your life and your business a lot easier? A lot easier. Okay, let me see if there's anything else. Thank you, my friends. Thanks for being here with me and hanging out with me. So fun. I love you guys so, so much. I am going to pray for all of your businesses, whatever they are, and I'm going to see, and I'm gonna give you a blessing right now. Let's give you a blessing right now. We're gonna give you a blessing and a benediction. So, Divine Mother, the great creator, the beautiful creatrix in the energy of the universe, we want to say thank you for being here with us, for manifesting through us and as us. We're asking for blessings on everybody here, everybody who asked a question, everybody who's watching the replay. We're asking blessings to pour down financial blessings, creative blessings, blessings of love and health and relationships and all the good things. We're asking blessings on all these business owners and creative entrepreneurs so that they can be filled to the brim with all your light and all your love and all your energy so that they can do what they're here to do and they can be the blessing even more so than they already are, that they can be the blessing that they are here to be. And as I say it, I know it is. Amen and amen. All right, my friends, I love you so much. Thanks for joining me today. Have a beautiful night tonight, everybody. Bye bye.